All right, so today we've got something a little different. It's going to be Jesty, of course, myself. Also joining us, it's going to be Pirate, as usual, and Ellyrian. Pirate and Ellyrian are going to be playing a Tukkayid Heat game, and I'm the voyeur that I am going to watch and cover the game as they're going through it, asking them questions and calling things out, maybe just for the viewers at home on occasion. We'll see. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, you two, Pirate and Ellyrian.
Hey, this is Pirate, and I'm bringing my chunky fun list today.
This is Ellyrian, and I was bringing a... Let's see if I can try to avoid getting killed by being fast.
So these are two opposite ends of the spectrum here. We've got 185-ton mech, 100-ton mech, a 95-ton mech, and then a 25-ton Locust 2C3, just for good measure. All at, hang on, is this 6s across the board for pilot and gunnery, Pirate?
Yep, because that's hilarious.
I can't argue with for the lulls as a reason, so I like it. We'll see how you do in this match.
It's okay. Ellyrian here is outweighed by clanners.
Yeah, no kidding, by 45 tons.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Speaking of being outweighed, Ellyrian, what do we have here for your list?
Okay, so I've got a little 30-ton Valkyrie that's coming in at 4.5. I've got a 40-ton Vulcan that's coming in at 4.5. I got a 45-ton Stealth that's coming in at 3.4. A Centurion that's coming in at 3.4. The ever-loving Blackhawk Coup coming in at 4.5. And the little sneaky bugger being the Oscout 7K, 35 tons, coming in with a 4 gunnery and a 3 pilot.
Only 581 battle value for that little sucker.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have any guns, so...
Oh, this is the Oscout that's basically just a tag with legs.
It is.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Now, how do you think you're going to fare against a big old wall of meat like what Pirate has here?
I don't have the guns to play. I'm going to stay at long range and make your gunnery just miss me. So I think it's going to be about turn 7 that I'm going to be left with 1 unit left.
Well, that's a bold prediction. I noticed that you have the Stealth in a different paint scheme, so I'm assuming that's your commander. And the Drakina is in a different paint scheme for Pirate. I'm assuming that's your commander as well.
Correct.
All right, so any of these mechs that you guys want to get into details-wise, or we can go over some of it during the game?
Nope, the only special one on my part was the Oscout coming in with the 3 piloting, so you can go up and kick stuff.
The main thing to look out for mine is that the Warhawk has a targeting computer, and all of these have pulse lasers of some sort.
Ooh, man, that sounds brutal. So the 6 gunnery skill is really going to be closer to...
To a 4, correct, and on the Warhawk a 3. So it's a case of I'm going to see how far I can reduce the pilot skill to put a bunch of cheese in here, and we'll see if sheer weight of metal wins the day. And since I've already submitted this list for the tournament, we're going to find out really quick.
This is for science during the tournament, so...
This is not my tournament list, but it's one that I was thinking about.
Hold it out on us, I see. Well, all right, you gentlemen can go ahead and get into it if you're ready. Oh, you guys already are ready. You're waiting on me. My bad.
We're waiting on Drunken Fisher here.
Hey, I like that name.
So I was playing this list against a Warhawk C and a Rifleman 2C once already, and lost all my mechs to, well, 2 of my mechs to headshots. It was not pretty.
Brutal. Hang on, let's see if I can get a Drunken Fisher here. Hang on. Hi, I'm Drunken Fisher.
That was actually better than I was expecting.
I gotta work on it. That, and I got something up with my throat. I've been coughing a lot lately, so if you hear me stop mid-sentence, that's why I'm muting myself and coughing.
Oh, and here we thought you were just choking.
And same thing.
Some people pay extra for that. So I realized that this wasn't the map that I thought I picked, but we'll roll with it.
You guys don't have the same map, do you? No, you don't. They look very similar, though. A lot of hills and forests.
Well, these are the pre-made maps, so it's probably so Catalyst can put two of them together and they don't look out of place.
Very true, very true. Now, how do you guys feel about the map setup for this particular tournament?
3 wide is definitely going to favor any clan players, or 3 vertical, either way.
I definitely... Sorry, go ahead, Pirate.
I was going to say, I actually like using pre-mades just because they seem a little less predictable, or they're different than what we've been playing on. So the pre-mades with some thought into like the alleys and firing lanes are pretty fun. The struggle is going to be the grasslands in the middle because there is such a lack of elevation. It's not a lot of line of sight blocking for people that can stretch their guns over the whole map.
Yeah, I agree completely there.
I would have rather seen grasslands on the outsides and a default one of the hilled maps in the middle.
That would be fun too.
Yeah, maybe one of the ones you guys are playing on in the middle. That way there's significant amounts of terrain and cover. But that wouldn't really be all that newbie friendly. So how do you guys feel about the horizontal versus vertical? I mean, visually it's jarring, but in reality the distance is only slightly bigger by like, what, 6 hexes or something?
There's 17 wide and 22 tall. That puts it fairly significant if they're 3 by 3 vertical.
Oh, it's 15 hexes. Never mind. That's a huge difference.
So I like it wide just because I can see it all on my monitor, because my monitor is wide.
Yeah, I agree with you. Visually speaking, this is much more pleasing to have it horizontal setup. I can zoom out and see the entire map at a decent level and still see some detail.
I have had a lot of good fun games though with it vertical because it kind of funnels you into that tighter space.
Yeah.
And the way the maps are set up, you can get a lot of long, like 36 hex range firing lines with the vertical lineups.
Oh yeah, like on the edges of these maps, there's all this space. If you look at the edge on both sides, realistically, you've got a straight line, basically, of clear terrain on the right-hand side of the map for 2 hexes.
And row 25 is usually empty on most maps.
That's the little seam they use to put the 2 maps together.
Gotcha.
It's the only thing that bugs me on the pre-made neoprenes is that there's this weird like strip right down the middle of the map. So I do like the Battle of Tukkayid ones where they feel a little more continuous.
Yeah, I have the fungal crevasse neoprene mat, and it's designed as a double map sheet, so you don't really notice any change in terrain or anything. All right, looks like Ellyrian's using some of his speed to move up through his own map sheet.
Gotta get in range somehow.
By the way, is this a stand-up fight?
We didn't put the King of the Hill thing in, so that's gonna, not be appropriate.
All right, so your options are probe, stand-up fight, or crush the head. I mean, usually you decide this before the match starts, but we were a little anxious to get into the game.
I'm good with any, but probably better with stand-up fight or crush the head just due to being late in exhaustion.
And probe probably gives me an unfair advantage because of my numbers.
Well, I probably would have deployed differently, but that's why I brought the Locust 2C, was specifically for probe.
Okay, so 50-50. We either go and murder the commanders, or we just straight up fight.
Roll a D12 or 2D6, and we'll see if it's a 7, re-roll. Upper numbers, kill commander. Lower numbers, stand-up fight.
Boxcars, wow.
Yeah, well, let's kill commander. Princess has spoken. The Princess is basically a Ouija board. Once you realize that, it's easier to win this thing.
I gotta commune with Princess to let me hit 6s.
somewhere one of the Megamech developers has perked their ears up going, they're onto us.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, Princess, that's not a diabolical name at all. So it looks like Pirate's going to have a hard time getting his Warhawk and his Direwolf into a firing line, maybe right about here. He won't be there for at least another 2 turns. Whereas Ellyrian, on the other hand, is very quick on most of his mechs. He'll be able to
My pilots are so bad, for a second I had to wonder if I could skid.
Thankfully, there's no roads on any of these maps, although I do believe there are some maps that do have a road in them that are legal.
Yeah, I will not be taking those under any circumstance.
I might take one just in case I run into you. I'm going to stand on the road. Come at me, bro. Make your running and moving PSR at 6. Yeah, well, it's okay. You'll just roll boxcars anyway, and then, roll boxcars to the kick and obliterate my little mech anyway.
Want to see me roll boxcar? Oops. Well, they are the same number, so there's that.
Well, you got small boxcars, I guess.
Doubles.
They are
Position for doubles.
Yeah, well, they are square-shaped.
It is a box. You're not wrong.
Sometimes you just need the little box. What am I going to do with all that beef on that hill?
That's a good question. Good luck.
Don't worry, beef come to you.
I was actually considering running that Daishi. It's real good. 3 large pulses in the Gauss rifle and 2 streak 6s to back it up.
I mean, it's going to camp in 3608.
I haven't even figured out where I want them to go. I was just trying to get their slow butts up the field. Wait, this Locust has an ER large? Damn.
Yes, it
I can
does.
reach out and touch someone.
Hey man, the Locust 2C is no joke. Alright, so looking at the Masakari here, it's got 2 heavy larges and a large
So I
pulse
need
laser.
to kill that stealth somehow.
Yeah, doesn't that stealth jump for 7 every turn, hopefully?
7-11-7 with mask.
Yeah, it does, because that was my commander in Twilight Heat, so I know that stealth very well.
Yeah, I was considering using one in March Mechnus because of course, jump jets and mask. Unfortunately, I took a different list. Alright, going through Pirate's next beefy boy, the Masakari has 2 heavy large lasers and 2 large pulse lasers and an LRM-10. It doesn't quite have enough heat sinks to fire off everything, but it's got enough to fire off at least 1 heavy large and the 2 large pulse lasers. And it's got a targeting computer to cancel out that +1 from the heavy larges and give that large pulse extra -1, so it goes from -2 to -3, which is particularly nasty.
Doesn't it have LRMs too?
It does have an LRM-10, but that's kind of an afterthought. You're better off firing either the heavy large or the large pulses.
Not with a 6 gunner.
Oh, I need to dump that LRM ammo. He's never going to hit with it anyway.
No, you don't. Just keep it.
He's got a targeting computer. He's a 5 gunner.
The LRM is in the right arm, and the ammo is in the left arm.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. All right, going through Pirate's third and final big chonky boy. The Turkina C has an LB-20X, which is very scary. 2 large pulse lasers, 2 medium pulse lasers, 2 flamers, 2 machine guns, and 1 streak SRM-6. So it's got a smattering of weapons in all range brackets. So this thing is dangerous at any range, realistically. It's even got anti-personnel pods, just in case, and an active probe.
It does?
Yep, it says it's got 2 of them. I was checking to see if it had a targeting computer, but this one does not.
We're talking about the Turkina.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, it does have anti-personnel pods. I've been running this Turkina for a month now. Never noticed.
All right, the Locust 2C3, last and least of Pirate's mechs tonnage-wise, has an ER large laser and 2 small pulse lasers, which is not bad for its movement profile and its battle value. 812, typical Locust movement profile, but a good bit more armor than your standard Locust because clan tech.
And that ER large is going to have short range all day, and those small pulses, if it gets close, negates the 6 gunnery.
Yeah, definitely dangerous. I mean, it's going to be hard to hit with that ER large, even at medium range, but it's still possible, and it's still dangerous. Especially considering how lightly armored all of Ellyrian's mechs are. Which we're going to start getting into right now. First up is the Oscout OTT-7K.
I really wish that mech had hands.
Oh yeah, that's a big oof that it does not. It's got a tag, which is the only sort of armament it has. Since it doesn't have any weapons that do any damage, it can't be enforced withdrawal for losing weapons. Oh no hands. Shoulder, upper, and lower arm. Why didn't they give this thing hands? It's not like it needs the crit slots.
It would just be that much better if it had hands.
But it is an 8-12-8 movement profile, so it's nice and quick, and hopefully is going to be dodging bullets for the entire match, if possible. Next up, because it's right next to it, is the Centurion. It's got a LB-10X, not bad, an LRM-10, and 2 medium lasers. One of those happens to be rear-facing. He does have Artemis 4 for that LRM-10 and triple strength biomer, so we're going to see if Ellyrian wants to get up close and personal with this bad boy. Not too heavily armored for something you want to get in there and mix it up close, especially considering how big the things he's going to be going up against are.
Oops, I misjudged your LRM-10 range on that Centurion. Oh well.
6'9" movement profile, not bad for a 50-ton mech. Let's see if he can utilize that TSM, or just keep him safe and utilize his longer range weapons first. Oh, we got the first lines of fire being drawn here. What do we got? 8s for 2 large pulse lasers from the Tukkayid Heat onto the Oscout that happened to jump for 8.
He's shooting the trees beside it.
Oh, okay, thank God. I was going to say, that's very surprising with the 6 skill. I have no idea how that mathed out.
We're about to play Fern Gully, and I'm not the little fairies.
All right, Centurion needs 10s on that Locust 2C3. All right, next mech up on Ellyrian's list is the Vulcan VL-5T. It's got a machine gun, a flamer, and 4 medium lasers. It's only got 12 heat sinks, so it can't really fire all of those and utilize its 696 movement profile too effectively. He's going to have to modulate his heat and keep an eye on it to not overheat.
Being heat inefficient keeps its BV pretty low, though.
Very true. 942 battle value coming in at a 4-5 gunnery and piloting. That's not bad. No other special systems from what I can see to speak of, but still, a bunch of medium lasers, which are one of the most efficient weapons in the game. Well, we'll be happy to know that the Tukkayid hit those forests with 8s, surprisingly, and it looks like
he did
the
hit the ground he was shooting at.
Yeah, but he needed 8s, which is, not a good sign. The Locust 2C3 dodged the LRM from the Centurion. All right, Vulcan backing up for one of the first moves here.
Yeah, I'm dumping ammo, so I wanted to make sure I was out of range.
Oh, definitely a good idea. All right, next mech up is the Valkyrie VLK-QD. It's got a medium pulse laser and an LRM-10 with 12 shots of ammo, which he hasn't fired any, and it's been a couple turns. So going forward, he should be able to fire it almost every turn. It does have Artemis 4 for that SRM or LRM. 585 movement profile, a little slow for a 30-ton mech, and not terribly heavily armored.
But it's got an LRM-10, so it doesn't have to get super close. It can reach out and just sort of plink away.
Very true. We'll see if he decides to stay in the trees or, get cheeky with his medium pulse laser there. 807 battle value at 4-5 piloting gunnery. Not bad, not bad.
And it's one of my favorite models, too.
Oh yeah, the Valkyrie's a really good looking mech. All right, next up is the Blackhawk KU BHKU-O. Coming in at 4-5 at 1731 battle value, which is fairly cheap. Let's see what kind of weapons we've got here. 2 medium pulse lasers, 1, 2, 3 medium lasers, 2 more medium pulse lasers, and 1, 2, 3 more regular medium lasers, and 2 small lasers. So that's a total of 6 medium lasers and 4 medium pulse lasers on this bad boy. Wow, that's a lot of lasers.
It's the prime variant. It's the one that they were like, hey, the Blackhawk, that thing is deadly. Let's make a version of it for ourselves.
Yeah, no, I don't blame them. It's pretty good. Real cheap battle value wise, surprisingly. How heat efficient is it though?
If I run, I can fire pretty much, I think it is all the pulses and 5 of the 6 mediums.
That's not bad at all, actually. You can get almost the entire weapon loadout and stay almost neutral by only dropping 1 or 2 weapons. That's pretty good.
And if you can get to 0 hex range or 1 hex range, you can fire the smalls without too much concern too.
Now, one thing to note, this is the heaviest mech in this list and also the most heavily armored, which at 20 in the sides and 30 in the center is pretty good for a medium, but compared to what the opposition has, it's not all that much.
And it's actually a heavy.
Oh, I'm sorry,
tonners.
heavy 60-tonner. My bad.
The mech it was originally based off of is a 50-ton medium.
That's what I was going off of. The Nova / Blackhawk clan mech is a medium.
Clanners just do it better.
And for far more battle value, unfortunately.
Yeah, but a Blackhawk with 10-year mediums can just melt just about anything it wants to.
Very true. That's a lot of damage flying in from far away.
Shut down, but then melt.
Yeah, but if your opponent's dead, then who cares if you're shut down?
That is pretty much the theory of it.
If you do shut down, I have a chance of hitting you.
Also true. You'll go down to a 2 gunnery, which is dangerous. Now, last but not least on Ellyrian's list is the Stealth STH-1D, coming in at 3-4 pilot and gunnery, or gunnery and piloting, I should say, 7-11-7 with a 14 run with mask. Decently armored, 17 in the sides and 21 in the CT. Not bad. It's got a medium laser, an SRM-6, another medium laser, and a Streak 2. So not really going to be able to reach out and touch anything with the Stealth. You got to get up close and personal to bring your weapons to bear. It does have mask, like I mentioned before, and an active probe. So any objective missions in the future, Stealth is a good mech.
And it's not ugly. It's fast. It does its recon job. I would have rather have seen 3 Streak 2s than the SRM-6 and a Streak 2. Just so they could share ammo.
Or 1 Streak 6 and call it good.
Streak 6 weren't a thing when it was originally designed.
Hogwash. That's what you need clan tech for.
So you have a unit with tag. Other than the LRM-10 on the Centurion, do you have anything that tag can even use?
He's got LRMs on the Valkyrie as well, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Yeah, but I didn't think semi-guided was legal, so I didn't load it.
No, they're not, but you can still spot for indirect with a tag. Which, I mean, since you don't have any weapons, you can just spot for free anyway without needing to roll for tag, but that's neither here nor there. It does give you a chance to, I think, maybe spot 2 different targets if you tag one and then spot the other.
Yeah, my whole long-range firepower consists of 2 LRM-10s and a LB-10X, so I'm not exactly going to be outranging anything. Most mechs carry that much firepower individually.
I think one of Pirate's mechs carries that much firepower in one arm.
Oops, I miscounted, so I'm firing on some 14s, but I got the heat.
It's only 2 medium pulse lasers for a clan mech. You'll be fine. Now, how are you feeling about the map selection at this point, now that Ellyrian's halfway up the middle map and you're barely over halfway across your map? Pirate.
Not too bad, because I've got plenty of cover to play in here, so it's a case of either I'm going to get up high and just snipe into the middle, or he's going to have to get up close. Now, he's going to surround and swarm me real quick, but I'm hoping that getting him to move in closer range means I can actually hit him.
Not a bad strategy. And how are you feeling about your current predicament, Ellyrian?
I need Princess to have a couple of drinks and be on my side to win.
Well, you better sacrifice some sort of small electronic device to her.
If I added up all the firepower I have, it's still less than any one of his mechs except for the Locust.
Yeah, the Locust is about the same firepower as one of your mediums. Well, you do connect with the LBX and get a headshot on the Turkina, so off to some early progress there.
Blink. But I got clipped by one of those large pulses.
Ooh, didn't quite get down there to see that.
Valkyrie right to the center torso. 6 armor remaining.
Not good. I mean, he needed, what, 8s or 10s to hit you there?
11s.
Oh, 11s. Well, hey, you can't count on bad luck going your opponent's way. At least not for too long. You can always count on good luck going their way eventually, though. So there it is, already down to 6 armor in the center torso. Any decently sized weapon hitting it there, even one of those heavy larges from the Masakari will just obliterate that poor little Valkyrie.
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, an 18 damage flesh wound. Oh, I'm sorry, is a heavy large 16 or 18?
16. 16 heat, 16 damage.
Oh, so yeah, 16 is just barely enough to obliterate the poor little bugger. And here we've got the Locust 2C3 moving back to cover the rear arc of Pirate's big heavy bruisers. He hasn't moved any of his 3 heavy mechs, forcing Ellyrian to move more of his mechs. So far he's moved the Centurion up into some heavy woods, and the Vulcan has moved back up to begin its advance across the map. Sort of adjacent to heavy woods. Light woods 1 hex away isn't going to help it, unfortunately. Depending on the angle, that might be the best shot Pirate can get with the Turkina and the Daishi. Maybe not the Masakari, we'll have to see. Depends on if he even moves them or not. He could just sit them still right there and make Ellyrian come to him. Ellyrian is being fairly brave with the stealth here. That is his commander, and it's a fairly not very armored mech, to say the least. I don't want to say squishy, but it is only a 45-ton mech.
Fly, Turkina, be free.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
And there's the first move for Pirate. Jump the Turkina up 3 hexes. I forgot that thing even had jump jets. And it looks like Ellyrian's starting to make his attack run, moving from little forest hex to little forest hex with some of his light mechs. He's basically a bunch of X-Wings fighting a bunch of Star Destroyers over there.
Gotta get there, gotta get there.
Gotta hit the exhaust port. Only 2 meters wide.
Blackhawk, you've turned off your targeting computer.
And then when the Locust gets behind something like the Centurion, I can't shake him. That roll was for tag? What was that roll for the Daishi?
That was a tag.
Pew,
pew.
From the Oscar. Okay, all right. I thought the Daishi was shooting something. I was like, what the hell? The Daishi shouldn't have tag. Now, I will say, this is ballsy positioning right here on this Blackhawk. You're basically standing right in front of a firing line. And lo and behold, he's taken some of the shots on your little Blackhawk here. But he still needs 12s to hit with the Turkina, because the Turkina jumped. And that's with large pulse lasers, mind you.
And there's going to be lots more large pulse lasers coming at him.
In fact, there's 3 more, which only need 10s. So I get that he's got to get across the map eventually.
And a Gauss rifle on a 12.
But I don't like...
Throw enough dice, something will happen.
Very true. It's a game of numbers, and the more numbers you throw at it, eventually one of them's going to stick. I very much so dislike this positioning of this Blackhawk. It's out in the open for absolutely no reason. There's cover right here. He could have just as easily moved up over here, give him slightly harder target numbers.
Just wish I had brought a ton of swarm ammo.
Oh yeah, especially because he's adjacent. Swarm, I do believe, is fair game in the Battletech manual. Maybe not. Maybe it's not in the Battletech manual. I'll have to double check later.
I think you might be right on that.
I know it's in the tech manual. Let me look it up real quick.
You're one... Oh, no, you're not.
All right, we're into a round of firing. Anything standing out? Through armor crit to the right torso. Not finding anything on the direwolf from that LBX, which has hit twice now.
And I take 3 large pulses.
Wow, needs 9s, and he hits with all 3 of them.
And 10s.
That is brutal. And that is...
And I rolled 12 on initiative. See? Just double digits.
And that is exactly why I didn't like this positioning. Don't give free shots if you don't have to. And those shots were completely free for all these really hard-hitting long-range mechs to take. There's no reason for this Blackhawk to be out here in the open right now. Maybe you can dangle the carrot when you have a lot of your backstabbers closer, but right now they're too far away. There's no reason for this currently, if you ask me. Alright, missile munitions in the BMM are Artemis 4, Artemis 5, fragmentation missiles, inferno missiles, narc-equipped missiles, and semi-guided, which semi-guided are not legal because there's a megamech bug with the calculation for their BV, unfortunately. So no, swarms are not legal.
As well as a bunch of the funky ammos for a narc launcher, like Nemesis pods and stuff like that.
And
Actually,
acid ammo.
No, that's not true. Nemesis pods are fair game. They're their own separate section. There's ECM pods, explosive pods, haywire pods, homing pods, iNarc, and Nemesis pods are fair game for narc launchers. So you got a little variety there for your narc if you can bring one. Now that is a good move.
Oh, we're going to have a commander fight.
No, I'm hiding his ass.
I could DFA you.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait, that's not a good DFA, though. You're skill 6 versus his skill 4. I mean, if you land it, you're pretty much going to flatten that thing, but...
You can't actually land it, though.
Yeah, therein lies the problem. I'm a little curious as to why Pirate's leaving his Locust way back here in the back. I would have it maybe not this far back, maybe like right around here, blocking from these units over here, but still able to strike on the flanks, just in case anything gets too close to the rear arc. But, I mean, Pirate's a very good player. He knows what he's doing. I'll trust his judgment on the positioning of this Locust 2C3 in the rear here. He might just be conserving it for later in the match when a lot of light mechs tend to just run out and get shot and die within the first 5 turns. Now the swarm is slowly closing in. Now what will the behemoths do in response? Even though there is no behemoth in Pirate's list, there's a behemoth in my list. Now I really want to see Ellyrian move this Blackhawk this way. He needs to get some cover. I mean, even at the very least, move him up this way and get beyond that level 2. You can't give up free shots like that. Definitely not 2 turns in a row. Now that is a cheeky move.
Fear me.
I mean, all you need to do is kick him and force a PSR. And you'll do more damage than any weapons you probably would have been able to carry. So the Masakari decided to stay still, and the Oscout, which was in position to jump for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes, I do believe. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it works out the same way. So that's perfect modifier for jumping. You get the +4 to hit, and he's in a forest, and he's in the rear arc of the Masakari, which means he should be able to kick it for free. I don't think it can wrist flip. Let's take a look at its arms. Left arm, shoulder, upper arm. Ooh, oh. Maybe it can just flip its arms over. I don't see any lower arm actuator. That might be a very dangerous position for that Oscout, which is still probably going to be a hard shot for the Masakari because of its 6 gunnery. Hey, quick question there, Pirate. Can that Masakari flip its arms?
I believe all of his mechs can flip their arms.
I believe you're right.
Gotcha. So that Oscout is not free and clear in its current position.
No, but I don't plan on arm flipping because I would add +1.
Oh, does it really? I didn't realize you added +1 for flipping your arms.
Technically you don't. It adds +2 if you're shooting something front and something rear to the rear target as a secondary target, but if you only shoot rear, there's no penalty.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the direwolf can't actually flip arms, though I thought it could.
The Gauss rifle arm doesn't have a lower.
But you have to have both flippable or they don't flip at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, but the right arm, which only has the large pulse lasers, does have a lower.
Oh no, he torso twists and still gets me.
True, but you do have that forest of cover.
There's a lot of mathing going on. This is not an easy list to play with.
No, I can imagine having those 6s for gunnery must be nerve-wracking. I don't like bringing 4s, let alone I can't imagine what it feels like to bring 6s. Okay, so ER large from the Locust 2C3 onto the Oscout. So he can cover the rear arc of these big mechs from his current position. I forgot that Clan ER large laser can definitely reach out and touch things very far away. That is short range. Good lord. So he's perfectly fine sitting here and protecting the rear arcs of all 3 of these mechs. Well, he's quite far away, very close to the edge of his map, behind cover in woods. So a great overwatch position, if you will, to cover the rear of his big trio of mechs here. So the stealth has no target, of course, because it's behind level 2 cover. And the Blackhawk, I do believe, does have line of sight to the Daishi and does not have line of sight to the Masakari. So its only shot is going to be the Daishi this turn, and the Daishi can
dip
shoot
on no penalty for arm flipping and shooting backwards.
Ooh, 8s to hit that Oscout. That's going to be brutal.
Oh yeah, he's definitely in a dangerous position.
But if you can get that Masakari to fall and, dodge some lasers here and survive to get to the kicking phase, it'll be well worth the risk, especially considering it's only 500 battle value. Now, this is a very positional-based game for Ellyrian. It's a very technical game for Pirate. He's going to have to go for the best numbers he can find. Like here, needs 9s and 7s with his large pulse lasers to hit the Blackhawk with the Direwolf, which is not bad, actually. All things considered, with a 6 pilot, that means the Blackhawk only has a +1 to its modifier, realistically. After the pulse lasers do their thing.
On the plus side, when he beats me, he's going to be the one that has to report this.
That is true. Usually the winner has to do the paperwork. So he ran for 7, which means he should have at least a 2 movement modifier. Looks like you're getting that TSM activated.
Doesn't hurt not to try and start towards it.
Not at all.
What do you have that as TSM?
My Centurion.
Oh.
Alright, so the Oscout survived its little light show there. Did take a large pulse to the leg, but is still standing. Luckily for it, the legs are some of the most armored spots on the whole mech itself, so... Oh, he does kick, but the Masakari makes his piloting check. The Blackhawk did take a beating.
I have faith in Clan Smoke Jaguar.
Took 10 damage to the left torso, 10 damage to the right arm, and 20 damage to the right leg somehow. Oh, the Daishi doesn't count cover, that's why. Because he's up on elevation. Okay, I like that. That's a good move. You hokey pokey with this Oscout. You jump in, you put your left foot in, kick the Masakari in the butt, and then you jump back out and you shake it all about and give yourself some cover. So unless Pirate decides to reposition these big mechs, this Oscout is going to be kicking every other turn with his +4 jump modifier, being a nuisance to say the least. So his only kicking target currently is the Masakari, because the Turkina and the Direwolf are up on level 2. So unless he goes to the side arc of the Direwolf, which is very dangerous because the Direwolf can torso twist and blast him with a very large number of weapons, I'm sure that Masakari is going to be his best bet.
Because I didn't catch it. What have you moved so far?
Just the Direwolf.
Now, I don't think I like this.
I know it doesn't look like I'm moving much, but I'm really playing the big brain game at the moment.
Don't think I like this Vulcan here. That's pretty exposed. I'm sure he moved for quite a bit, and he has a high target number. Yeah, he moved for 8. So he ran for 8 hexes, which means he should have a +3, I do believe. And light cover against the Masakari, but no cover from the Turkina and the Direwolf if they decide to stay
Bad
still.
gunnery means turret.
You're not wrong. He seems to be hitting decently with his current strategy.
I mean, my stuff is weak. All he's got to do is hit like 1 out of every 4 or 5 shots, and he's going to win this.
I don't know if I like that. The Centurion and the Valkyrie, I don't think moved at all. Right now, speed is life for you, my friend. Yeah, he might have a 6 gunnery, but he's got pulse lasers and targeting computers on all of these mechs. Not moving is very dangerous. It's a risk I guess he's willing to take because these are his long-ranged units. They do have the LRMs and I think the LBX on the Centurion. Oh, now that is a ballsy play. Was that a jump for 5 or did he run there?
I ran.
Ooh, ballsy. So the Blackhawk is currently point blank range with the Turkina and the Direwolf, but it's on elevation 2 while the Direwolf and the Turkina are on elevation 1. If the Blackhawk can survive, there's a chance it could kick something in the head hard enough to
I'm
one-shot it.
anticipating him to blow off one of my arms, hurt me pretty bad, but me to still be standing to kick him in the face.
Yeah, if you can kick either one of those in the face, that'll be huge. I'm assuming the Turkina will be your target because that's his commander, and it is currently cut off the head. Also, the stealth jumped out to the rear arc of the Turkina, which is, pretty good for the stealth, but it's also very dangerous because now the Masakari can basically bring its full weapon load to bear, and so can the Daishi. They both didn't move, so they're sitting at their base gunnery skill of 6, but those large pulse lasers drop it down to 4, and then the targeting computer on the Masakari drops it back down to 3. So that's not going to be all that hard of a shot for those 2 large pulses on that Masakari for the stealth. And the stealth is not very heavily armored. It can take a few hits, but not too many of them. He's going to have to be careful. And I'm assuming Pirate's just going to pour as much fire as he can into that Blackhawk to protect his commander. Looks like he needs 7s on the LB-10X and the LRM-10 with the Centurion to hit the Daishi, and he needs 9s with the Valkyrie. This is quite a predicament here. I can only assume the Turkina, the Daishi, and the Masakari are just going to bury that Blackhawk under a withering hail of fire to protect his commander. I don't think Pirate's worried about the stealth in the rear arc. He's got plenty of armor back there, and the stealth doesn't have plenty of weaponry, realistically. It's got a couple of medium lasers, if I remember correctly, and a couple SRMs. Yeah, 2 medium lasers, an SRM-6 and SRM-2. So if he does penetrate
This
the
is
armor...
going to be a pretty important round, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a ballsy play, and it's a pretty good gamble. If your Blackhawk can survive this turn, I think you'll be in a good position. At least if it can survive into the melee phase, that is. So the Daishi is electing to fire at Ellyrian's commander. He needs 8s.
Not liking those 8s
pulse
on
lasers.
the against the stealth.
No, me neither. I was just saying something about that. 8s for those large pulse lasers is bad. That means the Masakari is probably going to need 7s for its 2 large pulse lasers.
It's a little more woods between him and the stealth.
Oh, that's true. So it'll balance back out to 8s. So this was a ballsy play, but I don't know if it was worth the risk,
back to 8.
at least this early.
Come on, Princess, give me those 6s.
Yeah, he's counting on your opponent to roll poorly is not a good strategy. It's a strategy. It's not one I like to aspire to. The Turkina needs 10s for the LB20X, 9s for the large and medium pulse
see what
lasers.
happened.
Let's get into the firing. Nope. LRM-10 misses. LB-10X hits. And it's a slug. Does 10 damage to the right arm with a direwolf.
A whole lot of misses from me.
And Vulcan's missing. Locust 2C3
Oops, but
misses.
one didn't.
Stealth is dodging bullets for now. Stealth gets an SRM off in the rear.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I take a large pulse laser to the head and lose a mech.
Oh no. Oh no, the Blackhawk. The one mech. Are you kidding me? Oh no. The one thing that could have saved him or maybe turned this game around was that Blackhawk getting a kickoff this turn. And Pirate just rolls 12s, as we say, and gets the headshot. And then rolls 12, well, not a 12, I think it's a 5 or a 6, to hit the cockpit
12.
crit location.
Blew the head off, didn't he?
Correct.
Oh, so yeah, he rolled 12s twice in a row.
12.
So, as we like to say, just roll 12s. It's an easy game, and there is the proof in the pudding right there. The headshot blowing the head off of that Blackhawk is devastating. Yeah, a solid kick to the head of either the Daishi or the Turkina. More than likely, the Turkina would have been huge. It would have destroyed the mech outright, and it's a 1 in 6
both
chance.
of them in the head.
Oh yeah,
So-
he's already got one head hit. But if you kick with a 60-ton mech, that's 12 damage. You're killing that mech. If
So
you
it wouldn't
land
have
a head
mattered,
hit.
yeah.
If he would have survived, that is. But as the dice are wont to do, the dice said no. Now Ellyrian's going to have to get real cagey with his remaining units to pull this off. So Pirate is currently up in points. It is crushed the head, so they're still on an objective tie. Theoretically, Ellyrian can just run away with his stealth and call it a draw to reserve points, to conserve points for himself. He can jump for 7
Very stressful.
every turn. It was really an unnecessary risk to bring his stealth out here, and he only hit with an SRM-6, so it didn't really pay off for
So
him.
what I'm thinking now is all the positioning I need to do in order to not have terrible things happen.
But he did
No, I'm going to do all the terrible things to you.
He did get lucky and dodge all those shots that went his way on the stealth.
Is that a DFA?
That is a DFA.
Nice.
Holy shit. It's getting spicy.
I mean, you took away at least half of my guns by dropping that one mech.
Is that another DFA? Good
It's a
lord.
7.
It is.
The Oscout needs a 3, and
Needs
the
a
Vulcan
3.
needs a 7.
Because pilot difference modifies those target numbers.
Oh yeah, by quite a bit, if I remember correctly.
So my 3 pilot in the Oscout versus your 6 pilot in the Turkina.
I mean, you're gonna hit, but will you do enough damage to really make it worth it?
No, because he's going to large pulse me and hit me in the head and kill it.
I think he large pulses you anywhere, and you're pretty much dead. So the Valkyrie and the Centurion stay still again. I'd like to see them get closer to bring some more weaponry to bear, or just get lower target numbers at this point. It's a target-rich environment, and for Pirate currently, there's no reason not to throw these two a little bit closer to give them some better shots. Maybe move that Valkyrie and the Centurion up to that sweet spot of 7 hexes. So you mentioned before, Ellyrian, that this was just a list you were messing around with. What is your actual list for Tukkayid Heat, if you don't mind sharing it?
Give me a quick second, because I don't know, entirely remember.
Oh, no worries. Or you can keep your secrets if you wish. Don't mind me. So the Masakari looks like its arms are flipped because of the little red bump right there.
Okay, I am bringing a Rifleman -C with 2 clan large pulse lasers, 2 clan LB5s, and 10 single heat sinks.
Wait, what?
It is a refit Rifleman.
Yeah, so you got 2 large pulse lasers, but you can only fire 1 per turn if you stand still.
Yep.
Okay, oh, I know which one this was. I was looking at this one, and I was like, why? Why would you ever take this?
Because it's 1300 BV with 2 clan large pulses if I need to.
Yeah, it's 1300 BV for 1 clan large pulse most of the time.
Yeah, but it's 2 if you got good numbers and you're not worried about blowing up at 10 heat.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then the next turn you fire 1 large pulse or you fire the 2 LBs.
Yeah, you'd have to fire the 2 LBs to drop heat at all.
Good thing they're -1 to hit because they're cluster.
Very true.
Next mech up on that list is the Assassin with the SRM2, the LRM5, and the medium laser going 7-11-7 with a 4-3 pilot. No, a 5 gunner and a 4 pilot.
Ah, nice. Going in for punchy.
Or just to try and stay stable and running around.
That too.
Following that up, we've got the Wolverine 7M with the 585 with mask, 2 ER larges, SRM6, and 2 medium pulses.
Oh, that sounds like a nicely balanced unit.
Backing that up is a Wolverine 7K with the large pulse, medium pulse, small pulse, 2 SRM6s, 1 ton standard, 1 ton inferno.
Yeah, that is a very good Wolverine.
Both Wolverines have 4 piloting, and the 7K has a 3 gunner.
Nice.
And rounding out that lance is a Banshee 3S with 2 tons of precision ammo for the AC-10 and just standard ammo in the SRM.
Oh, so it's just got an AC-10 and an SRM?
2 PPCs, AC-10, SRM6, 4 medium lasers, and I think it's 2 or 3 smalls.
Well, okay, never mind. That's a lot more weapons. Okay. It is a Banshee after all, so.
But it's the good Banshee.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it was like a Banshee. Wait a minute. Don't those things only have like 3 weapons usually?
There's one that has a PPC and an AC-5. There's another one that has just 2 PPCs.
And when you listed the first 2 weapons, I was like, oh, is that all?
Yep, 1751 BV for the Banshee with a 4-5 pilot in it. So again, not super awesome lance, but more balanced. And with a pair of Wolverines, it should be just lots of fun.
Uh-oh. Somebody's in trouble.
Yeah, it was me when I stepped on the field with you.
No. Read further down what happened to my direwolf.
Ruh-roh, blackout. That'll drop my DFA significantly.
Absolutely.
And I was going to fire slug this turn, but then I was like, nope, I'll flip it over to cluster.
Yeah, I really didn't do enough damage to cause a PSR on the Oz Scout. I was hoping to take one of them out. Oh, this just got spicy. Luckily, he fell prone behind a hill, so it'd be a little hard for some of your units to find him.
And the Vulcan went down too.
Yeah, that'll cut his TMM down significantly.
And now where does the turkey go?
Trying to avoid your Oz Scout getting a head kick on the Turkina for obvious reasons.
I mean, you could have just stood there.
Well, yeah, but then you can get a head kick on him. At least here I've got 3 intervening woods between the Centurion and the Turkina. Got a decent shot on the Vulcan or the Stealth if I choose to. And, I still have some funsies with arm flipping if I want.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that Turkina only has 8 armor in the head for some reason instead of 9?
He's been hit twice.
Really? It doesn't show up as yellow. It's showing up as gray.
Oh, maybe he only has 8. He's been hit.
No, I flanked it with a cluster munition earlier.
Okay, that's weird. That's not showing up as yellow. It's still gray.
Well, because it's only 1 point of damage that it's taken.
I thought anytime you took damage, it would drop it to yellow. But I guess maybe it's a threshold. Once you get past a certain percentage, it'll go to yellow.
I think it's 25%.
Gotcha.
So if I'd hit him with an SRM2, it would have, but because it was a 1-point cluster round.
Right on. I've never noticed that before. Oh, that's a good move with that Oscout. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
It was either that or bounce away and then come back again next turn.
No, I think that Locust is too juicy of a target.
Yeah, but it might be a trap.
Well, it's all a trap. You have 2 assault mechs right next to you. You can only shoot, well, technically you can shoot at all 3 of your mechs, but his skills are so high that it would behoove him to only shoot at 2 mechs. Well, 3, including the Locust. The stealth looking a little worse for wear here. Here's the Vulcan. Are those aim shots, I'm assuming, on that Daishi?
They are.
So the Vulcan needs 7s for all 4 of its medium lasers and its flamers to hit the head on the Daishi.
Which he can take 1 and it'll go critical. So he's got to put 2 in to kill it.
Yeah, he's going to have to double up with... any 2 of those would do it, I think. Even the flamer at this point.
Even just giving you another head hit to try and keep you unconscious.
Yeah, that's very true. The head hit, or the flamer, or actually, no, it's regular medium laser, not a medium pulse. Damn. Yeah, anything to keep an assault mech out of the fight for any number of turns longer is worth it. Personally, if it were me playing, I know that the dice would show up as, every number under the sun that's not a 7 and lower. So I'd end up with a bunch of 6s needing 7s.
Don't be talking about Soul Roth like that.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about me.
No, I know. I was joking because last game he just had the worst -1 malice.
Oh yeah, dude, that was bad. Needing 6s, rolling 5s, needing 8s, rolling 7s. It was just every turn, and you can't afford to miss when your opponent outnumbers you by that much, and outweighs you. Oh, I was like, wait a minute, how the hell can that Valkyrie see that Masakari, but either the Oscout spotted or tagged it?
Spotted.
Gotcha.
It was one of those, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so gotta take them.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a trade. The Tratina is probably going to obliterate that Vulcan needing 7s on those large and medium pulse lasers. Maybe not. And then the Vulcan's going to execute the Daishi Gangland style, needing 7s for all those headshots.
I was trying to spot on the Daishi, but for whatever reason it hit the Masakari.
Huh, that's weird.
Because I wanted to be shooting at a prone and immobile target.
Yeah, that's strange.
User interface error, I'm sure.
Sometimes you got to zoom in real close. Stealth taking shots on the Tratina. He still needs to get the commander down. 8s for the 2 mediums and the SRM6s because he jumped for 4. And Masakari's gonna throw some hate the Oscouts way. What are the target numbers? 10 for the heavy large and 2 7s for the large pulse lasers. And I think that was a 10. There it is for the Ellyrian 10. Centurion firing at the Locust. Oh, here we go.
Oh, 1 head hit.
Oh no, you're kidding me. Only one of those went through? That's ridiculous. Well, in trade, the Turkina fucking airballed against your Vulcan until the LB-20. So I think that's a fair trade. The Vulcan's gonna stay standing, I'm sure.
It barely does, but it does.
Okay, distracted by the dogs. What did I see? What did I miss?
You missed everybody missing, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's a fair trade. I mean, the Oscout took a few leg actuator hits, but...
Oh no, the Oscout.
Ooh, and the Vulcan lost his left arm.
That's okay, the left arm's expendable.
Oh no, Oscout falls. No, he was supposed to stay standing so he could kick.
Needs a 5, rolls a 4.
Yeah, oh, that's brutal. And now he takes an engine crit.
Yeah, the engine don't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. He doesn't even shoot anything. Although it does matter because now he's in force withdrawal. How? Oh, he's got 3 exposed limbs.
And an engine hit.
Well, 1 engine hit won't do it. You need 2 engine hits or an engine and a gyro.
99 stealth.
Ooh, there went the Vulcan's leg anyway.
Stealth, misses kick. Needs 4 to stay standing, rolls 2.
Oh, no.
And the day she wakes up on a 10.
What?
Needs a 10, rolls a 10. Yeah, that's game.
That's ridiculous. I mean, at least it's in force withdrawal, so it can't just sit there and turret anymore. But your Vulcan's in force withdrawal, your Oscout's in force withdrawal. Your stealth is still fairly decent, actually, surprisingly. He's prone, but he's your commander, so if you wanted to, you could start retreating off the map and take your points that you've got and call it a draw.
So, $10 says I blow the mask roll on him this round?
Oh, and the Daishi stood up. Oh,
Of course you did.
Maybe, actually. What do you need for your mask? 3?
3.
Yeah, I say you blow it.
Stealth's not even in force withdrawal.
No, but I mean, objective-wise, keeping your commander alive is probably the most important.
Yeah, because, I mean, I could table you, but I'm only going to get half the points, and I've already lost some with the Daishi. It'd be a low-scoring game, but you would deny me a bunch.
Actually, I think he's only lost the Blackhawk if you're Daishi, and he's got the other 2 in force withdrawal, so it'd be real close, because the Daishi's worth so many points.
Yeah, and then tying on the objective is better than losing it.
Oh yeah, if at all possible, you want to go for the tie.
Did it show up with a big helicopter spin when I put my Daishi up?
Yes, it did. Did you change? Did you turn like 50 times or what?
I sure did.
Of course, no wonder. That's one dizzy ass pilot. I'm gonna laugh if he falls down again.
I saw that and I'm like, am I glitching out? Am I getting disconnected?
No, I had a feeling
he's just doing something funny.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was pirate shenanigans. But yeah, no, I can't believe that the Daishi didn't die last turn on those 7s. Yeah, you're rolling way under par for what you should be there, Ellyrian. But I also can't believe the Vulcan survived that turn, even though he's very roughed up from the kick from the Masakari.
Got kicked and still survived.
Yeah, the fact that he's still on the board is still amazing.
That's because I dumped the ammo. Otherwise, I know for a fact he would have taken an ammo crit and been kaboomed.
Where was the ammo located?
Side torso.
Yep, it is in that left torso. Nah. See, you don't always need your machine gun ammo, kids.
I mean, if I was allowed to, I'd only run with like 2 or 3 rounds of it, but that's a no-no.
No. We take stock mechs here, at least when it comes to ammo loadouts. You can't reduce your ammo or reduce your armor or anything like that to shave off some BV or to just make you not blow up as much if you take an ammo hit.
Right, I ain't worried about the BV difference, but, you know, it'd be nice to have 2 or 3 shots instead of none.
Very true. I mean, that could have made the difference if you bonked him in the head one more time. He would have needed 11s or 12s to stay conscious instead of the 10s. Even with the machine gun that only does 2 damage, the mech would have been alive, but likely still unconscious if you connected with it. Oh no, wait, he only has 1 health left. Never mind, if you would have connected with the machine gun, it would have died. I sit corrected. It's okay, you just need to shotgun him in the face with the Centurion and hit the head one more time with a pellet.
Yeah, but now you got an angry, hungover, smoke Jaguar and a Daishi right next to you.
Well, I mean, it's no different from last turn.
True.
Who happened to win initiative this turn?
Ellyrian.
Just trying to figure out a move.
So did you use careful stand on the Oscout there?
No, I moved, and then I moved into the trees.
Did you move 1 hex closer to your home edge?
I guess technically I didn't, because I was same as where I was.
Uh-oh. That's a party foul, but we'll allow it for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the tournament, but that is a no-no. During Tukkayid Heat, you do need to move at least your 1 hex closer to the edge of the map.
Or your careful stand is also an option. If you careful stand, that's considered your movement.
Yeah, you use up all your movement, and you can't move any closer to the edge of the map.
Yeah, and I wanted to hit 3708 anyway, which would have been 1 closer, because I wanted to jump the Valkyrie where the Oscout is right now.
Fair.
Gotcha.
Can I DFM my own mech?
Unfortunately, I don't think you can. Did the Vulcan try standing and fall?
Nope, didn't even, because he's got heat issues and a missing leg.
No, okay, you couldn't even attempt it. Gotcha. So, where's that big old turkey gonna go?
The Oscout will be dead this turn anyway, so it won't really matter.
No, more than likely, it won't. Well, that is an interesting maneuver, giving up the rear arc bait there.
I'm going to say that I probably got enough armor to tank it. If he does move there, he's probably going to have a low TMM, and I get intervening woods between me and the Centurion and the Valkyrie.
Definitely dangling the carrot.
Help step stealth. I'm stuck in these trees. Given what I learned about arm flipping today.
See, that's one great thing about Battletech. There's always something new to learn. Kind of want to see him run the stealth up and go
Did the
into
stealth
kick range.
fall?
Oh shit, yes it did.
Well, so much for that.
Did your mask fail?
No, I just failed the piloting on a 4 up to get up.
Oh no.
Oh no. Dice do hate you.
I would have had a +3 mod because of the mask. I would have had a 7 hex distance.
That's the second time this guy has failed a decently low piloting skill roll. And he's a 3-4 pilot too. I mean, the dice haven't completely forsaken you. They did give you the shutdown on the dice sheet.
That was due to pilot hits.
Yeah, but you still needed to roll like a 3 or a 5 to shut down. Or to go unconscious, I mean. I do like that move. I was actually drawing this out. Getting into kicking range with that locust. Getting some trees between you and those assault mechs and some cover.
Got to do what I got to try and do.
That's right. You need to get some points on the board.
I was seriously tempted to charge the back of the Turkina, but
If you were on elevation, maybe it would have been worth it.
yeah, because I pushed him off elevation the first time I did the DFA. This time would not have been worth it. But had I not failed to stand, running in behind him and doing 2 punches would have been okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's only got 5 armor left on his rear right torso, and there's machine gun ammo in there, so...
And, 4 pilot, he didn't have a defensive move. Maybe I clip him with one of the punches in the face.
That too. I mean, the ammo explosion would be, more head hits, but yeah. Or I should say pilot hits. Okay, so according to that line of fire, that's not cover for the stealth from the Turkina, but he at least gets the forest. 9s. Oof. For a bunch of 6... for a bunch of 6 skill pilots, you're getting decent target numbers, Pirate.
Hell yeah.
It's because all those clan large pulses are all in short range.
Yeah, and the targeting computer.
It's deceptively aggressive having six gunners on these.
Yeah, it lulls you into a sense of, oh, he won't be able to hit me. And then bam, he throws 10 10s at you and hits you with 3 of them. Don't like that. Needs 8s to hit the Centurion with the Direwolf with those 3 large pulse lasers. And 10s for the SRM-6s. Needs a 10 to hit the Turkina C with the LRM-10. And needs a 6 to hit the medium pulse laser on the Daishi there. There we go. That's not bad. 7s across the board for the medium
Let's see
lasers.
what that Centurion.
Just need to roll a 12 there, Ellyrian, for any location roll on that Daishi.
Yeah, just roll 12s, right?
Yeah, that's right. Easy game.
I can tell I'm getting tired because I'm not doing the best job selecting targets here.
It is pretty
laser
late for
hits.
most of us.
True.
I don't suspect this will be going much longer.
Oh shit! There goes the Centurion. Oh no, the Vulcan. Sorry.
That was expected.
Very true. I mean, it didn't really move, and it was prone right in front of the Masakari.
6 gunner, heavy large laser, needing a 6 to hit. Yep.
Yeah, brutal.
You're going to be dead.
Oh no! Doesn't hit the head with any of those pellets.
I still got a chance of kicking it though.
Oh yeah, very true.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose the Locust and the Direwolf here.
Well, I think there goes the Oscout. Oh shit! There goes Locust.
And Direwolf blacks out again.
He's not dead yet, but that's really good news for Ellyrian, though. That you're down to 2 units, effectively.
And I lost initiative.
Something had to roll my way sooner or later.
That's right. You can't lose them all. That's statistically improbable. Not impossible, though. All right, so the Oscout's not going anywhere. The Daishi's not going anywhere. It's up to Ellyrian to move either the Stealth, the Centurion, or the Valkyrie. Is front-loaded initiative turned on?
I believe it is.
Gotcha. That means you'll have to move 2, I think, right now. Or not. Never mind.
Now you move the Oscout and the Valkyrie.
Oh, okay, so you did
Because
move
he
2.
ain't dead yet.
Gotcha. All right, you did move 2. And now it's going to be 1-1-1. Realistically, I kind of want to see the Centurion turn that LBX onto that Turkina and start fishing for more head hits. He's only gotten 1 so far, but if he can get a couple more, or maybe get in the rear torso, depending on where Pirate decides to put the Turkina, he can pull this win out. The game is not over. It's not over until it's over, which is why you should always try and keep playing for either points or for the win, if you can. And right now, it's still anyone's game, especially because it's cut off the head. Even though Ellyrian has lost 1, 2, probably going to be 3 mechs after this turn, losing 2 mechs for Pirate is a much more devastating blow because his mechs are far more expensive than Ellyrian's mechs. If he can get off the board with his 3 remaining mechs, or just get out of sight of these assault mechs, and kill this direwolf off this turn, he'll be sitting pretty and may even actually win based on battle value, even though it would be an objective tie. But he's not going to do that. He's being ballsy and going straight into the front arc of the Trakina, which is not exactly what I would have done. Maybe stay 1 hex back so that way you don't get kicked. But it is what it is. He's going for it, so I can't fault him on that. Now, I think he just needs to either jump the stealth behind the Trakina to get the rear
I should
arc.
have turned. Whoopsie.
With the Trakina or the Masakari?
Masakari, I should have turned it slightly.
Oh, gotcha. That way you could kick the Centurion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So the stealth, playing a little more defensive, getting some forest cover, jumping for 7, I'm assuming, and going adjacent to the direwolf. Hopefully going to execute him Ganglin style this turn, finally, with his 1 structure remaining in the head. This has become a no-holds-barred brawl. This is just brutal. I mean, he's got 2, 3 mediums, I think. Is the Valkyrie light? No, I think the Valkyrie's a medium. No, that's a Trakina, not a Valkyrie, sir. Where is the Valkyrie? Oh, no, the Valkyrie's a light mech. So he's got 2 mediums and a light mech against 2 clan assaults. He's gonna need a miracle to pull off the win, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. He just needs some location rules to go his way, similar to how they went in Pirates' way earlier this match, needing 7s for rear arc on the Centurion with those 2 large pulse lasers. That's not a good look. He's only got 6, 7, and 6 armor on his rear torsos. If he nails him in the right torso rear, it'll go internal and he'll have 1 structure remaining. If he double taps any of the torsos with those large pulse lasers, except the center, if he gets either of the sides, I think that's lights out for that Centurion, or at least it'll be enforced withdrawal, bare minimum. Oh no, that'll be lights out. It does have an XL engine, so that's a bold move. Like I said, maybe 1 hex back just to prevent the kick.
Hurt.
Yes, they definitely could. If he doubles up on either of your side torsos, that is 1 dead mech. And the Trakina needs 8s and 10s. So the stealth firing 2 medium lasers at the immobile Daishi, needing 8s to hit the head. Valkyrie, what does he need for?
Come on, stack pull on the direwolf.
Needs a 4 using the left side table and an 8 using the left side table. Huh. Oh, I guess he's shooting at the left torso.
Oof, needs 6 or 7, let's see.
Well, you hit the 6th on the heavy large to destroy the poor little Oscow.
Yeah, but I didn't trade very well this turn. Trakina fell. And he's got a TSM Centurion right in front of him.
There we go. Finally got rid of that direwolf.
Took me a while.
Oh, you got lucky. It still hit the leg anyway.
Yeah, I can take a hit there.
If I'd got lucky, I would hit him in the head.
Well, no, I mean, that's what I mean. He got lucky and you hit him in the leg. But since he fell, that means that he's got to roll that 6 to stand back up. So you never know.
He'll bonk himself twice.
He's slightly overheated.
Is he? His heat is only at 1 from the looks of it.
Oh no, he's a 1-2 mover at the moment.
Huh, it says 134 capacity on the status.
Yeah, I see that too, which is odd.
Yeah, I saw that he's a 1-2-3, which means he can stand, I think, barely.
Yeah, minimum movement, he should be able to try and stand.
But he's not in forced withdrawal, so he really doesn't have to.
Correct.
He can lay there and take it.
True. I mean, he does have the armor to probably take it, unless you get lucky and TSM kick him in the face again. Now, that Masakari has been unscathed for the most part.
Left torso wouldn't be a bad place to kick him either.
No, it wouldn't. Or if you can get in the rear arc, their rear right torso.
I'll put the prone mech in my rear arc. Thank you very much.
That's not a bad call. See, maybe in a situation like this, if it were possible, I think he can't eject because he's knocked out. But you could eject him and then free up that rear arc to walk in later. Although I don't know if ejecting the mech clears it for movement purposes that turn. I think it would have to wait until next turn because it happens at the end of the movement phase, if I'm not mistaken.
By all rights, that little Oscout should be dead.
Oh yeah, it's survived hell of a beating, way more than its tonnage and armor would lead you to believe it should. He has taken his licks like a champ, for sure. Now, I do not like that. Jumping the stealth or walking it. No, it looks like he rolled mask, which means he walked it. I don't like that. That means he moved it to here, and he's liable to get kicked by that Masakari, which had not moved yet. I'd have liked to see him move it this way, if possible, to stay away from that Masakari. That's an unnecessary risk. Because even though he's skill 6, his kick is -2, he goes down to 4s. Base skill. Not optimal, if you ask me. Even jumping just from here to there would be worth it. That's good. He at least needs 10s on those pulse lasers and 12s for everything else because he's prone, so he has a penalty. Medium pulse for the Valkyrie needs a 3. Is he out of LRM ammo, or is it just so much of a penalty that it's not worth shooting? No, it's probably such a high penalty for minimum range it's not worth firing. And what does the stealth need? In return, 3s across the board for the medium lasers and the SRMs. Maybe he can get some lucky head hits, a through armor crit to an ammo bin or something. He needs some luck to go his way. The dice to hit should be in his favor with all those 3s and 4s and pretty good numbers across the board for him, because the Turkina is prone and they are adjacent. They get a bonus to hit.
Drum roll time.
I'm real curious to see what the numbers look like for that Masakari on that stealth. They're going for commander kills each here. Needs a 4 for the laser and a 3 for the LBX on the Turkina. That Turkina's already prone, so it can't fall over and do more damage to itself.
Good job, Turkina. You whiffed again.
Well, to be fair, you did need 10s and 12s.
That's what happens when you keep laying there.
He's connecting and hitting with all of his weapons, but he's not finding any good crits.
Goodbye, Oscout. I knew you will.
Complete misses across the board. Damn, that was a complete whiff across the board, except for that Oscout hit for Pirate that round. The high gunnery skills showing their ugly face there. And now the Turkina's going to get taken out back, gangland style, and triple stomped by all 3 of these little mechs.
I mean, at least you're not going to have any piloting checks for him because you're already on the ground.
Very true. But the stealth will, and he will be on the ground at the beginning of next turn as well.
Or that's a bad news bears.
Very. But you did get an engine crit on the Turkina, so at least there's something.
And you won initiative.
Oh, that's bad news bears for Pirate. So, as I like to say, the dice giveth and the dice taketh away. This match is almost completely turned around for Ellyrian's favor after some early lucky shots from Pirate. Oh, that's how your movement's only 1-2. It's because you've got 2 leg crits.
That would do it. I just tried to stand and failed.
Oh. Yeah, because your base piloting skill is 6. You probably needed 8s, right?
Correct, I did.
Yep, okay, that makes sense. Oh, and now the Valkyrie's in the rear arc. I will say this, I am very surprised that stealth weathered the kick from that Masakari. Granted, he's only got 4 structure left in that leg, but he's still there. The leg is still there, I should say. And if he hit the other leg, I think this would have been a cripple fight.
Now we figure out what the Masakari does. It's the almost untouched Masakari.
Yeah, that thing is still pretty fresh. And it's also arguably the most dangerous mech on Pirate's list because of that targeting computer with those pulse lasers. It's got the most consistent chance to hit.
Oh, you cheesy bugger. You just stood there, huh?
Come get me.
Giving him the best odds to actually hit.
So I think we see a double commander kill this turn.
One can hope.
Or I get lucky and he takes my stealth arms off.
For the game, going for the alpha strike. You were right. Boom. So, don't know if you caught that, Jesty, but... Double commander kill. Stealth ate it. Turkina finally died.
Oh shit, yes I did. I was muted, unfortunately, because I was coughing earlier. I was talking that whole time. God damn it.
30.84% left for me, 27.72 for you.
Yeah, this is one hell of a match, and this is also one of the reasons why you never give up until the very end, because now they're all tied up, and currently Ellyrian's in the lead. He can play come catch me if he really wants to. And I don't know if that Masakari will be able to keep up. In fact, I doubt it with a 2-3 movement profile currently. Now the question is, do you go for the points or do you go for the round win? And it looks like Ellyrian is going to go for the round win.
He still outmasses me. Time to run away.
He's been outmassing you for the whole game. But man, look at that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mech bodies all within like this little 8 hex area.
That was some brutal close quarters fighting.
Oh yeah, it was a brawl. I was kind of expecting you to go back to back with your assault mechs and make like a little triangle formation, you know?
Definitely considered.
Put the Masakari facing your edge of the board, that way it can arm flip if it needs to. But it looks like the Centurion and the Valkyrie are going to be making a run for it. We'll see if that Masakari can get up on an elevation and maybe get some parting shots in.
Well, it's turn 14 as well. If it was turn 10, I might have had enough turns to try and play cagey and get some damage, or maybe do the Masakari dirty.
Oh, that is true. This has been a full... This game is going to go to time, more than likely. It's been a full 15 turns. He's up on level 1. He's got the range, but does he have the numbers?
There's also a woods in between us that I wasn't expecting.
Oof.
But realistically, this will be the last time I can take a shot at medium range, and it's going to go in the back of that Valkyrie.
Yeah, I think after this turn, that Valkyrie should be able to get out of even long range, unless you can get up to another level 1 closer, maybe.
15's on the heavy large and LRM.
I'm going to say that's a nope.
Means 12's on the large pulses, though. Oh, 10's, because they must have been in
Yeah, medium range on the Valkyrie.
And misses, unfortunately.
But take that parting shot.
Yeah, through armor critical. That's the solid red scared me for a half second.
Yeah, you do have ammo in that mech, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, LRMs, yep.
I mean, through armor critical is always scary, even if there's no ammo. I mean, he could magically double crit you with one BB. Oh, didn't want to give him rear armor, I see. I mean, a pulse laser to either of those sides, and there you would have lost a torso.
Yeah, I could have just ran out of range, too. Well, very unlikely to get out of a range of 20.
Yep, needs boxcars for those large pulses this turn.
Hopefully the return shot is similar.
Needs 13, so automatic miss, if I'm not mistaken.
Automatic miss, but I'm shaking my fist in defiance.
Good game, sir.
Because the LV hit.
Yep,
Didn't do
there it
nothing.
is. Hey man, you never know. Gotta go for it. That was beautifully played there, Ellyrian. I thought you were down and out early on, but you rallied and came back at the end.
Yeah, I'm super surprised how that ended up at the end.
This is exactly why you never give up until it's over, and you can't fight anymore because the game says so. I mean, there's always, oh well, I've got 2-legged light mechs and that's all that's left. Fine, you want to give up? By all means, give up. I am not giving up. I am standing one arm prone or then taking those shots, hoping for Lady Luck to come my way. And eventually, just through attrition, I think the bell curve ended up coming back to the average, and Pirate missed a lot of shots there at the end. Those 10s and 12s just weren't doing it for him. He had full turns where he shot almost every weapon and missed with every single weapon.
I knew with 6 gunnery it was definitely a numbers game. That's why there's a large amount of large pulse and medium pulse in there. But yeah, some of those turns, that was just ugly. And the Direwolf blacking out was a huge turning point.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gone Ellyrian's way had that Direwolf not blacked out on like a 3 or a 4 or whatever it was. It was a fairly low number that it blacked out on.
Yep, it was even up trade for the Blackhawk.
Oh yeah, I mean, rolling 2 boxcars in a row to get the head blown off check on the Blackhawk was brutal. But, I mean, having that Daishi go unconscious at basically full health was equally brutal. Even when it woke up, I don't think it hit with anything after that.
If you can load your list real quick, I'll kick it in.
No. Ellyrian's got to kick it in since he won.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's my list.
And that's the street schoolyard rules.
I was already starting to type it up.
If you ever feel the need to, you can just copy this list and dump it in that Google sheet I put up there, or Desert has a better one he's working on. And then you can just copy and paste. You don't have to do all the typing.
Yeah, me and Google don't work together.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, so how are you guys feeling about those particular lists? I know this is the one you're running for Tukkayid Heat, Pirate, and are you up for the challenge of 6-6 pilots?
So I wanted to try it on hard mode, and that against a good player, that was fun to play against, but it was definitely a very different experience than what I'm used to. Because I'm used to 3-4 minimums and glass cannons. This is definitely a different type of mind games.
Yeah, there's some cheeky tricks you can pull with the arm flipping and torso twisting and DFAing with your big old fat mechs. But
if there's ever something within 3 hexes of the Turkina that's immobile, I'm definitely DFAing with the Turkina.
Oh yeah, go for it. But it is a challenge playing with such bad skilled pilots.
Yeah, but that just tells me that it is viable. I don't feel like I'm gonna blow anyone out of the water, but it's definitely a viable strategy.
Most definitely. You performed a lot better than I was expecting, actually. I was expecting to see whiffs across the board for almost the entire match, but you connected pretty consistently up until the end there, where you had like 4 turns where you just couldn't hit.
Yeah, 8s seem to be the magic number. If I can get in 8s, we got it.
Yeah, surprisingly, you hit 8s and 7s on occasion were your target numbers there, which is a lot lower than I was expecting out of a 6 gunnery. But then again, pulse lasers are pretty damn good as is a targeting computer.
Yeah, it's those 7 large pulse with a couple of them tagged to a targeting computer that really makes it still viable. It's too tough to kill, and you're going to be more or less kind of accurate if you can get close.
Definitely. So how are you feeling about the list you ran against Pirate this time around, Ellyrian? Are you kicking yourself for not running it because of how it performed?
No, as soon as I come up against anybody that has a couple of clan pulses, this list falls apart. I got lucky with the Direwolf going unconscious, but otherwise, even with his 6 gunners, I would have been picked apart.
True, it is a numbers game, and eventually you can't rely on your opponent not rolling a 10 for the entire game. Eventually they will roll that 9, 10, 11, or 12 that they need to hit you, and you're going to get punished for it. And when you don't have the armor to soak it like you can in an assault mech, it's going to sting. And probably take out a leg or a torso or an arm on some of these really light, very unarmored mechs. Alright, so do either of you two have any closing thoughts about the match, or anything you guys want to say regarding Tukkayid Heat coming up next month, starting in T-minus 6 or 7 days?
So this was definitely a fun list to throw together at the last minute in a rush to put out there. I'm looking forward to the not turret tech so much as just positioning, because finding a position so that you can sit in it is not something I usually do. So with the very, very large volume of players we have, I'm interested to see how some people I haven't even played against may take that challenge up.
Yeah, I foresee you having difficulties in missions like Probe. I mean, you do have that Locust, but you're going to have to play real defensive with that Locust in order to get your Probe data. And King of the Hill, your mechs will make it to the hill eventually, but will it be too late to contest it?
Oh yeah, that Locust is basically playing the stealth mission in any video game. You have to not be hit 100%.
So I think you've got the skills to pay the bills, Pirate, but we'll see if the dice hold out for you in the tournament coming up.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game. It was a lot of fun, and I think the list that I took with the 2 Wolverines And the assassin does the job similar to this list, but has a little better staying power.
Gotcha. Those Wolverines will definitely have more armor than most of your list did this time around.
And I've got the Rifleman to sit there and just sort of plink away when it needs to. The Banshee to run up the middle to be like, I'm a big target.
Big, scary target.
Yeah, because you can't ignore 2 PPCs and an AC-10 with precision.
Very true.
Pirate, you were defending for Ghost Bears on this one, weren't you?
Correct.
Score 1 more for the Jade Falcons.
I knew it. Knew there was something shifty about you. Well, all right, guys. I think that's it for us tonight. Any closing thoughts or any shout-outs you guys want to give? Well played, both of you.
Carbon on carbon for you in the tournament.
Shout out definitely to all the new players, because there's a lot of people that joined just for Tukkayid. I'm looking at you, Nitro, Free Worlds League, and all the others. So very excited to get some games in and see y'all put all the practice you've been doing to the test.
That's right. There's a lot of new faces, and I hope to see some of different faces up toward the top of the list this time around. I mean, I don't want to be at the bottom myself, but I would not mind it if my butt were kicked by a bunch of new, fresh people. So don't let the same people keep winning. It's up to you, new people, to put them in their place.
Yeah, the list is huge for the number of players this time. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're well over 20 already. Last time I spoke to Sam. So we got a nice big field of players to hopefully make this real interesting with a variety of lists. And hopefully we'll have some more footage for you coming from Tukkayid Heat itself once it goes live next week. So stay tuned, and we'll be back next week with some hot Tukkayid Heat action, hopefully. All right, go ahead and say goodnight, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.